So this is the second of our jump instructions called jump address. Now in this, what we do is we jump to the next address that is in the RAM. So the jump address instruction is given by this code 0100, and the other 4 bits are not used. So we can use this mnemonic here. We'll call it JMP space ADDR. So it just jumps to the next byte in the RAM. Okay, so that's it just restated there in red. It jumps to the next byte in the RAM. So let's go into Logisim and we'll build it and we'll simulate it and we'll see how it works. So if you get into the resources section, you'll see the file called jump address instruction. So you can go and open that up and then come down to CPU and open up that. And we've seen this before in the previous videos, and I'll zoom in again to get a bit more detail. So what you can see here is that we've disconnected the instruction register, so it means we can put in our own instruction. So we wanted to put in this jump address instruction. So the jump address instruction is going to be the 1 here, and the rest of them are going to be zeros. Now what we want to do is we want to jump to the contents of a memory location. Okay, so we'll make the contents of the memory location say 15. Okay, so that's the contents of the memory location here, 15. So really what we're going to do is we're going to, the next address that we're going to have and use as our instruction is going to be the contents of the first memory location here inside the RAM. So let's count through our first 12 here to get to the clock pulse that we need to get to. Okay, so that's the 12th clock pulse come in. So let's get inside the control section and we'll see what this looks like. So this is our control section here. We can see here that we've got this value for the instruction is a high here. So that high here, it comes up and it chooses the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th AND gate down, and that 5th AND gate down has gone into these 2 AND gates, and these 2 AND gates are going to be controlled by the separate positions 4 and 5, and those are going to go through these 2 lines here. So it's going to be instruction address register enable, memory address register set, and then when you go into 5 it's going to be RAM enable and instruction address register set. So let's go ahead and we'll see the first of these. So instruction address register enabled and memory address register set. So we'll go up to the top level. So here we've got the instruction address register enabled. So we're putting the value that's in the instruction address register onto the bus. So originally that's value 0. So 0 goes onto the bus, and then we're going to set the memory address register. So when the next clock pulse comes along, we've set that value 0 into the memory address register. So really what we're saying is we're pointing to the very first memory location, which is all zeros. So now we'll head on to the next part of it. So we'll go on to the next clock pulse. So that's the clock enable has gone high. So let's go down in here and we'll have a little look and see what's happened here. So now we're in position number 5, and we've got the RAM has been enabled and the instruction address register has been set. So you can see here the RAM has been enabled, so the contents of the memory address 0 and the RAM have now gone out onto the bus. So that's just the value that's contained in here, which is going to be a value of 15. So that's it, 15 going on to this bus. And finally, the very last part of it, we can see that that value of 15 is going to get into the instruction address register, because that's going to be the address of our next instruction. So we're going to the top level again, and finally when we set the clock, so the clock goes to set, then that value has been set there, and the value 15 now goes into the instruction address register. So it means that the next instruction that you're going to execute in the control section doesn't come from memory location 2, it comes from memory location 15. So that's all there is for this video. In the next video we'll go on to our very last jump instruction. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.